Welcome to the Anime Club. I am Cooks of the Green Knight at your service.
Number 15.
And my name is Jessie. How do you do?
And the anime we watch today is Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 1 to be exact, Phantom Blood. So for all of you expecting stands, sorry, no Star Platinum today. Yeah,
We apologize for the small amount of people for the review, but due to schedule still being work to be changed, we won't be having many members reviewing for the next few weeks.
yeah.
We
Hopefully
hope
we'll
to get more next time.
Hopefully we'll get a little more guys next time, because, well, 3 ain't that good right now. 3 ain't a company right now. Alright, so yeah, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Phantom Blood is basically the beginning of what made the Jojo series so popular. Jojo and Dio. And their bizarre... I don't even know what the heck to describe them. 15? Jesse?
Well, I think it's like this. Jojo was like the sweet little cherubic angel who grew up to be a strong man who defended the universe. Whereas we have the satanic Dio who became like the demon who just came to destroy all mankind. So Jojo the angel and Dio, of course, the demon.
Yep, Jojo, the British gentleman. Someone should tell Professor Clayton that apparently gentlemen can fight. You know, Professor Clayton, the puzzle guy. He always describes himself as a gentleman. You know, the British gentleman and the British devil. Yeah, so basically we watched the first, 5 episodes? 6?
5.
5 episodes, which brings when Jonathan or Joestar, because apparently putting the another...
Just for the sake of arguing, call him Jojo.
Jojo, because, yeah, because all the J characters in this series have the nickname Joestar.
Right. But as far as we know, for the first 3 episodes, or 4, it's basically the backstories of these 2 individuals of how they were brought up and how they lived together.
Yeah, the noble gentleman Jojo and Dio, the kid from the slums who got apparently really lucky and got adopted by a noble family. Yeah.
Still, the life he led, I can understand his twisted personality. Growing up in a world where you have to be smart, quick, and stronger than those who tried to walk over you.
True, but apparently that's not why he was evil.
He just had a horrible personality growing up, no thanks to his degenerate father.
Well, I mean, but the anime does imply that he was bad from when he was born, as Speedwagon said. Yeah, so initial thoughts.
Well, personally, I love the storyline. I like how they put the history, especially involving the history of the roguish queens, Queen Elizabeth and Queen Mary, especially, oh, Bloody Mary. And I really like the puns, there's one character, Robert E.O. Speedwagon from the old 80s group, REO Speedwagon, I love it. And the ending song, all I can say is groovy, okay? I listen to I listen to songs like songs like that reminds me of the awesome yacht rock. Need I say more?
Still, it seems this anime that even with the stuff that's somewhat true in the anime based on United British or London historical events, it seems it's not showing the darker side that you can't find in most books.
Yeah, this Jojo, it's not one of those animes where the story takes place in like a fantasy world. It's the real world with fantasy aspects. Was that all your initial thoughts, 15?
Well, I would think so, yeah.
Alright, my initial thoughts, I'll admit, this story has its interests, but I feel it's one of those stories that when this first came out, it was a lot more made for the times. Now, with the stories we got around, it hasn't aged well. Like, for example, like, Dio, to me, he comes across as a massive villain Sue. You know, like a Mary Sue, but a villain.
I see.
Like, he comes across that, like, from his first episode, he's shown to do all these amazing things that only one of them he's explained as having a talent for. His ability to be able to boxer was because of had to fight like in the slums. But things like why he's apparently so amazing at math, Jojo, who's been raised as a noble, can't do it, and why he has such good table manners, that comes across as nowhere. Or why the person they just met, compared to the person they should have at least have a bit of a reputation, they'll believe the person they just met, Dio, that Dio says, Jojo's a snitch, Jojo's a snitch, for some reason. They believe that, like, never explain, like, what's that?
Seems to me is that during their entire childhood, Dio wanted to throw Jojo into the depths of despair, which darkening his heart, making him how he felt while growing up in the slums.
I mean, Dio wanted to destroy him because Jojo was in the way.
But it's understandable. Most people who grow up in a tough neighborhood believe that way, that why should they have to suffer in a detestable environment while there's some out there who get everything handed to them.
I will agree with that statement, but that doesn't really seem to be Dio's motivation.
In which case, maybe he's just a jerk.
Exactly, like I said, the show says he's just bad from the very beginning.
And the fact that he even killed Jojo's dog Danny proved it. Well, that's one of his examples anyway.
Yeah,
And,
just because Jojo beat him up for stealing a kiss from his girlfriend.
Yeah, we can't forget that. And to say absolutely nothing of the people and some animals being decapitated. That part I didn't like, but hey, this is not one of our namby-pamby anime, so.
This is something more like Berserk with blood.
I had to admit it was kind of a dark joke where they walked out and saw the horseman guy with a horse's head on top of his corpse.
Perfectly something seen in character for Dio, though.
Cruel joke, that's what it was.
The guy's first scene with the Joestars was punching a dog.
And how was that for the kids?
Dio's a jerk. It's literally
That's euphemistic.
a 3-letter word for jerk is Dio. So, I guess we'll move on, since we pretty much moved on to characters now. What about the other characters?
Irina. She was like the would have been love interest if it not been for a moronic pontificating person. I'm not going to mention his name. Dio.
We've already said what he did to her.
True that, and there was we already mentioned Ario Speedwagon and that Italian English person, I forget his
Baron William Zeppeli.
Baron Zeppeli.
My favorite character.
I like him too. He's so eccentric, but he encourages Jojo to get out of his comfort zone and just to have faith, just to face the fear. And we all need that. Now, come on, am I right?
The true meaning of courage.
Amen.
Basically, Zeppeli, he brings in an archetype of the Zeppeli character, basically the ally to Jojo, the Jojo character.
I'll be honest, one surprised me not further on in the series when Jojo and his friends are going out to fight Dio before he takes over the entire world that Irina wants to come. Jojo begs her to stay. That along the way they found out she's stowed away in the carriage or something.
Who knows?
I mean, she seems like the kind of girl who wants to help. The guy's too worried about her safety, but she sneaks behind his back and follows him.
Yeah. To me, she comes across as the satellite love interest character. Her character, she's Jojo's love interest, and that's that. Hell, we see them grow into a relationship literally in a montage after her second or third scene. Literally, he saves her in the beginning, she gives him back his handkerchief with some grapes. Montage. That's it.
Let's see.
Heck, even after the montage, her next scene, Dio refers to them as a couple. And then he steals a kiss and then she washes it out with dirt. Dirty water. Which I'll admit was probably one of the better scenes I'll admit.
So how do you guys rate this series anyway?
before we go into that, is that all we have to say for characters? I mean,
I would say so.
Christine, you got
Not
it?
very much of us here, and I don't think we've seen much of the characters either.
yeah, I think the only other character we had really talked about was George, and there's not much to say about him.
Yet.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, there's not more we can say about him. There's no yet there, because we've seen his basically entire role. He's shown from the beginning. He's one of the first characters we're introduced in you ask me is... Alright, what I'm about to say, this will go into negative, but George Joestar is one of the characters I gotta admit that I don't really care for in this series, because he comes across as... I don't want to say this because he's a character who gets killed early in the series, hence why we're saying there's no yet for him. It's like the third episode this happens, and honestly, you could say he's in fault for almost majority of the story. For Jojo and Dio coming apart just because he made the very wrong choice and did something might have seemed gentleman-like, was purely idiotic. Knowing he was trying to get robbed, knowing the guy who he says owed him a favor really is the one who put him in trouble, got his wife killed, he still took in the guy's son and didn't get the guy arrested, which would have changed the entire plot probably, and not have. Basically, the entire plot happens to this character because he made an idiotic, dumb decision. Sorry, like, this is one of the things, like, this story gets me is it's driven by characters making incredibly stupid decisions.
Okay.
Or things that are just made to work so one character gets the way. There's no reason. I get he was choosing the gentleman, but okay, there's being a gentleman and forgiving a completely wrong thing.
Quick step, your hair's toughened up a bit.
I'm okay with that. I like my hair spiked. All right.
No, I think
So I guess on that note, moving on along to negatives.
I can't really say anything bad about this because I haven't watched enough of the series, to be honest. I mean, the first few were just like the introductions and the backstory. I haven't seen the actual plot yet.
And I think we've pretty much seen most of this as plot.
Yeah, but I don't feel like his journey actually started yet. So far, it's just trading and junk.
And I think we see the very beginning of the the story, like what's building it up. Jojo's got to chase after Dio. Yeah, with me, almost every other thing I have to say about this series is negative. Like, I don't care for Dio as a villain. Like I said, he comes across as a villain, so like things go his way despite for no reason they should. Like in one of the last episodes we even saw when he does something significant, despite the fact we've given no contrary belief to this, no knowledge, he's shown to have an ability that is not shown by any other character, and correct me if I'm wrong, not even vampire related. In 15, you'd know about this more than me. The whole moisture sucking out of his arm, making the hormone, which is supposed to be the power of the sun, which would allow them to beat people up with punches of the sun. And honestly, God, it's shown wolfed because, oh, the ability they need to beat the big bad? Nope, he just resists it from some convoluted excuse that has nothing to do with that. Like, literally, like, he just freezes the moisture in his arm. Hormone doesn't work. I'm like, so wait, the entire energy you're having the main character learn doesn't work because the villain can just resist it. I'm not even, like, I would get, like, some of them, they have ways, like, the guy with the hair, was that Buford or the other guy? But one of them, like, he had a reason, like, Jojo couldn't get it to go through the hair, didn't have to freeze his hair. I mean, like, it shows, like, an idiotic, or, like, another thing, like, the reason why is he so good in all those noble stuff from the beginning? Like, he has no noble training. Why should people believe the new guy who they know nothing about? Like, literally, you just feel like the plot goes along just to make Dio come across this big bad guy when, in reality, he does nothing that does anything special. Like, he comes across as this big bad just because the plot makes him the big bad. Compared to something, he's not threatening, he's not anything.
Okay, I guess I'll pitch it from where I am. I'm just an unseen entity. Don't bother me. Anyways, I kind of think I kind of agree to what Big Stick here is
Thank
saying,
you.
that Dio is one of those. You know, when I was watching this, I kind of made the comparison to Gilgamesh from Fate Stay Night. He has basically the same ego, but without any of the powers. He's some random bloke with blonde hair that acts menacingly and has an ego the size of the sun. But other than that, I don't see what's so scary about it. And the whole thing is that he could have been ended by the police, but they didn't do their job right.
Not even just by the police. He could have been ended by the first vampire he created. Just got lucky the sun rised.
I don't know. His strength, his speed, his ability to vanish, making the cold his ally.
I don't know.
Seems
That one's a
about
weird
all the
one.
traditional powers a vampire would have.
I don't know. That last one is off. I don't know. Not a lot of vampire stories I know use
Castlevania, Lords of Shadow 2, Dracula is able to use ice magic and turns it into a sword that freezes his enemies.
Okay, yes, but that also doesn't have him somehow remove the moisture from him. So especially
Alucard, Castlevania Mirror of Fate can turn his entire body into mist.
okay, that's still not removing moisture from her, but you get what I mean. I mean, it feels like a little bit it moves off. Like compare another anime, Berserk, Griffith, who's starting to be a cunning strategist, a master swordsman, and a tactician who with a plan that goes around everything, along with a very powerful beings wanting will and throne, compared to like that's a villain who actually what Dio comes across is like he's trying to be, but is actually doing what Dio's doing, not just the plot happens, this happens, that happens. Like I'm honestly not trying to say like I get what they try to do, but again, it comes off falling short. Like I said, he comes across as a villain too. I'm told that Dio's such a bad guy, and he does bad actions, like punching a dog when they first met.
Burning a dog alive in a cremator, there's another
Exactly.
one on top of that.
Or destroying a guy's livelihood just because he can and he's in the way. Like, or other things like knowing things he honestly shouldn't know.
As far as I know, he's just a living embodiment of greed. He wants everything and is not shy of taking it from others.
He's a living embodiment of a cunt.
Language!
Excuse me, we can edit that out. But
No, we can't!
Get too tight.
Yeah.
The organization member is doing better than you, and he's a villain. Alright, is that really all we have to say about negatives?
That's all I
think
have to
so.
say.
okay, I'm bored of coming in.
No. Apparently the unseen identity is gonna show himself.
No, I'm just gonna participate.
Oh, and I wanted to see what this unseen identity was. I was gonna guess a missing go.
Should we just move on to the ratings then?
Sure.
Alright, ratings, who wants to start?
I'll start. I get this like 4.5 stars.
I guess I'll give it a 4, at least until I've gotten a chance to watch the rest of it.
For what?
That's just it, 4.
Unfortunately, I will be giving it a 2 out of 5 Hummels.
So that's
It's-
6, 10
I
and
mean,
a half.
it's one of those
I'll give it a 4.2 deals. 4.2 deals.
4.2 deals?
4.2, that's the best.
Really?
Yeah.
I was about to
4.2.
say that, really?
So 14.7 out of 20, so I'd say what? B-ish?
More like a C.
I think that's a C.
It's a low C.
So I guess we'd have to watch more of the anime before we can make a better rating.
No, I'm pretty sure that's gonna stay my rating. It's one of the ends like I'll watch it if it's on. I don't really care for changing the channel, but it's not something like I care if I miss a few episodes or would watch unless it was just on TV and I really don't feel like flipping it.
Fair enough.
All right, catch us next time as we watch the movie The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.